Music. It's everywhere, in our cars, our homes, even when we're shopping on the street. For some, it's relaxation. For others, it's life itself. But for Muslims, there's a question that has echoed for centuries. Is music haram or halal in Islam? This is not just a question of entertainment. It's about faith, culture, and the choices we make every single day. Stay with me because you need to hear this. Music is not a small issue. It affects our emotions, our mood, and even our actions. For some, it inspires them. For others, it leads them away from remembering Allah. And that's why Muslims have debated this topic for over 1,000 years. Some scholars were strict, saying music is haram. Others allowed certain types with conditions. So what's the truth? Let's break it down. Many scholars believe that music is haram. Why? First, they point to verses in the Quran where Allah warns against idle talk that distracts from His remembrance. Some early scholars interpreted this to mean music and singing. Second, there are hadiths where the Prophet, peace be upon him, warned that some of his followers would try to make haram, things halal including musical instruments. Third, they say music often leads to gatherings of sin, drinking, immorality, and forgetting salah. And the Prophet, peace be upon him, said, there will be people who will regard as permissible adultery, silk, alcohol, and musical instruments. For these scholars, music is a dangerous door, and the safest way is to close it completely. But not all scholars agreed. Some said, wait, let's be careful. They reminded us that the Prophet, peace be upon him, himself allowed the beating of the duff, a type of drum, on Eid and at weddings. Young girls sang in his presence. He did not forbid it. Imam al-Ghazali, one of the greatest scholars, argued that not all music is haram. He said it depends on the lyrics, the purpose, and the effect it has on the heart. If it brings you closer to Allah, inspires you, and contains no indecency, it may be permissible. And even today, many scholars say nasheeds without instruments, or even with light percussion, are halal. The truth is, scholars differed, and they differed with evidence. But here's what almost everyone agrees on. If music distracts you from salah, it's harmful. If music contains indecent words, promotes zina, alcohol, or violence, it's haram. If music becomes an addiction, taking more space in your heart than the Quran, it's dangerous. On the other hand, if it's a simple nasheed, reminding you of Allah, or a cultural song with no haram elements, some scholars allowed it, so it's not black and white. It's about what you let into your heart. But let's ask the real question. What role does music play in your life? Does it make you remember Allah or forget Him? Does it make you cry for Jannah or crave the dunya? Does it make you pray on time or miss your salat? Because on the Day of Judgment, Allah won't ask you about music in general. He will ask you about your choices, your time, your heart. So, is music haram or halal? The scholars gave us guidance. But in the end, the decision is personal between you and Allah. Maybe the better question is music helping your faith or hurting it? Think about that. May Allah guide us all to what pleases Him most. Assalamu alaikum.